Jujutsu Kaisen is awesome. I'm having a ton of fun with Phantom Parade here, but there's admittedly a lot of stuff in here, so it can get confusing. And I think that's typically the case when a game comes out, especially if it's been on the Japanese market for a while. So that's why today I will be going through most of these menus here, also giving you guys some general tips as we do a beginner's guide video for all of you guys here on the global version of the game. So make sure you subscribe because you're not going to want to miss any of the content I put out going forward. There's going to be a ton, so stay locked in. 80% of viewers aren't subscribed, so make sure you join that awesome 20. Also, when you finish this video and you find out that there is awesome info in it, remember to hit that thumbs up. So like I said, we're going to give some general tips to begin. So the first thing I want to tell you is when you start this game, you are going to have the option to do your guaranteed reroll. So when you do that, you want to start off with Gojo. He is the best character to pick there. And then after that, the other characters you're typically going to look for is going to be Kugisaki, the SSR version. By the way, choose whoever you want, but mainly those characters, right? If you want to just have fun and do Todo, Yuji, whatever, you can do that. But you're going to look for Kugisaki. You're going to look for the SR Yaga, SR Nanami. Those are some of the characters that you're going to want to mainly focus on. More on that in a video that I'll leave down below where we talk about the best possible characters in the game for Global's release. By the way, another thing to consider is maybe don't go so hard if you're not going to spend money on these gachas, because they're going to have Yuta in the game extremely soon. I would imagine Yuta is released within the next few weeks here, so keep that in mind. Besides the fact he's a really cool character in the series, he is going to be one of the best characters to pick up in this game, so keep that in mind too. While most of the characters right now, like Fushiguro, a lot of these characters are just not all that great. So that being said, that's what you want to do. Also, a fun thing that you can do is through the link down below in the description, you can go to the early gacha, and what that is it's a web browser version of the game where you can go on there and just do free summons, and then when you have something you want, you can claim it and it'll send that result directly into your in-game account's gift box. And you could choose between cubes, you can choose recollection bits or memories or a character. You can choose whatever you get there, like an SSR, whatever it is, you can have it sent to you. So keep that in mind. I recommend doing that. Again, link is down below in the description. So now that we've covered the general start that I recommend for you guys, here are some more general tips. Every day you're going to want to go over to your shop and claim the free cubes. There's only 10, but eventually that starts adding up, right? Very easy. The next thing I'll tell you, focus on pushing through story. Why? Because pushing through story will unlock most of the other content that you need to do on a daily or consistent basis in the game. As you see, I don't even have the boss battle here, so that's pretty late into the story. Aside from the fact that you're going to get a bunch of cubes from doing the story, you want to push the story as much as you can. So build your team, push through story, and move on from there. So the next thing I'll tell you is as you unlock some of these things, they're going to become available to you, and you ultimately get the ability to start farming resources, right? So first thing on that topic is you're going to get a bunch of resources here, AFK basically. This will eventually start getting better for you as you level up your account more. They'll push to higher levels and stuff, but you want to make sure that you're claiming this every so often. It starts off pretty whatever, but eventually, again, it does get good. But I do recommend you guys going in and farming the resources ASAP to level up your characters, namely your Gojo, if you can do that through enhancement quests. So you're going to come over here, get the Beacon of Training. This is just generally the experience version, like to level up the experience of the characters. And then you can go over to okay, so there's multiple places you can get this, but if you go to enhance characters, you want to grade enhance your characters as well. So by getting the materials needed, the cursed items, I believe is what they're called, needed, you can also enhance your characters to increase their level cap. So when they hit a level cap, you want to enhance their grade, and that'll push their level cap up 5, give them some extra stats, I believe, as well. So keep that in mind too. And you want to make sure that you are definitely doing those two things to start things off, because it'll make your grind easy. So again, to recap, push story generally all the way through, but at least until you unlock the ability to start enhancing level and grade enhancements pretty reliably. You can also get experience from doing story, and if your character is at a max level cap, like say it's 30 out of 30, which I think is where they start, you will get the extra orbs to level up your character regardless, so that's not just wasted experience technically. So that is a nice feature that this game does have. So outside of that, I want to pivot away from that because that's generally stuff everyone should understand. It's very easy to get to. Also, if you guys are, oh, they upped this to 6,000. What the heck? It was 3,000. Okay. If you're looking to get more cubes, I'm sure a bunch of people are already posting their friend codes in the comments. Take some of those friend codes, put them in here, and it'll get you up to 6,000 cubes. I could have swore that was 3,000, but it looks like they changed it or something. But yeah, keep that in mind. You can do that. Add people here and get those cubes. Those will also be something that'll be useful for you in your progression in the game. All right, so all the while you're playing story, all that stuff, you're gonna daily, as you guys start a new account anyway, you're gonna daily get these missions. Ultimately on day 7, they'll give you, and I can't see it here, they'll give you one of these SSR guaranteed gacha tickets. Fun thing is right now on global, because they're gonna give another one out today or sometime in the next couple of days here, you can actually get up to 3 of these, I believe, on global completely for free. So remember I mentioned Gojo, I mentioned Kugisaki. I would actually pivot towards getting a Gojo dupe if you want to just be absolutely meta, but you can also look for other characters that you have fun with, so that is totally at your own discretion. But keep in mind that the characters can't be used if they have the save name. Like for example, SSR Nanami, the SR version has more use in the game right now, so if you have the SR, maybe don't get the SSR because same name characters can't be used on the same team. But there is a value to the rank system, which we'll get to in a moment. But yeah, all the while you're playing, you're going to want to make sure that you are completing all of your daily objectives for a bunch of different resources, SSR memory, the ticket as well, so you complete those. All right, so let's go ahead and pivot from there into the exchange shop. So this is a mode or menu, that you're not going to need to use all too often. What happens is you can get these different resources from playing different pieces of content, and then I'll talk about domain investigations when we get to that, and then you can exchange for the resources here. And this is going to be one of the primary ways for you guys to get, it looks like, a free infusion of gacha tickets as well. That's basically the only spot I've really seen them. You can come and exchange for cursed objects to enhance your characters if you need those. Rare materials, I have not seen where you're getting this piece at, this item needed for these, but these are basically, the way I understand it, is substitutes for actual SSR characters. So like this can be used as an SSR character awakening, like a duplicate, basically a substitute for it. So I assume that's extremely hard to come by. Gacha points is the gacha points from the literal gacha summons, so on and so forth. Most of this though is just going to correspond with a mode or something like that. All right, so let's go over there or get out of there, and we'll go over to the Phantom Parade Pass. This is very simple. This is just a battle pass. There will be daily missions that you can complete to get pack experience to unlock these extra nodes and to give you the rewards for that. So there's also a free track and a paid premium track, like any other battle pass ever freaking does, basically. The good news is the free track does have some good stuff, so make sure you're completing that, but you don't have to really go out of your way to complete it. It's very straightforward. It kind of just happens instantaneously while you're playing. Speaking of instantaneously, if you've made it 8 minutes into the video and you haven't hit that thumbs up already, well, that wasn't instantaneous, so it definitely needs your help. So make sure you hit that thumbs up. Cringe joke. It didn't go where I wanted to go, but we're moving on like it never happened. All right. So in this formation menu, you can create a team, enhance your characters, or enhance your recollection bits. You can also basically sell those things as well. Very straightforward here. I kind of pulled this up earlier, but again, you can enhance the skills on your characters, and this piece we'll talk about a little bit more. These crystals, they're from a specific mode. Awakening is just for dupes, or that shard that we talked about earlier. This will allow for your character to get stronger basically through duplicate summons. So that's why I mentioned getting the dupe of Gojo. And in enhanced recollections, it's largely the same thing. Either limit break it or enhance it here. If you do limit break them, they start unlocking extra passives. So for example, this one here, when a wave starts, recovers 200 ultimate gauge for the self. That's nice. All right, so let's go out of there and we'll go over to album. This is basically just a recap thing. From what I understand, it just kind of tells you the story of the game, or the story of the series is the way I understand it. So not a ton here, not really a mode you kind of need to go into. Also, the plot corresponding with the gacha on. So there's that. Horizon of Nostalgia is the name of the gacha. Also some side story stuff that you can check out as well. But there are some rewards in here, as you see. So you're going to want to eventually make your way into there. I just don't know if you have to actually play anything, but that's just more or less story-based content. So we're going to hit the quest here, and now we're going to start talking about some of the other modes. So dispatch, something else that you need to make sure that you're doing pretty passively or consistently. It's very passive. It's an AFK thing, and you've seen this in pretty much any game ever as well, where you basically send your characters out and they adventure, if you will, and they give you these resources back. So this is part of the reason also why I said make sure you're completing story, because this content is all entirely locked behind story, so keep that in mind. And as you complete chapter 8, you'll start getting the pieces back here passively for leveling up the skills on characters, so you definitely want those. Cursed object collection, this is where you're going to go to farm cursed objects. Pretty straightforward. An easy way to get here, though, is when you're trying to enhance a character, you can click on the designated cursed object that you need, click obtain from, and it'll take you exactly here to the right stage. You can kind of do that if you want to. Enhance quests, this is where you can get these specifically, like I mentioned earlier, things that you need. Formidable foes, like a boss, I guess. I know that he's a boss fight. That's pretty hard. So this is this game's tower, if you will. So what happens here is there's 5 different areas, as you see in that right corner there, and you enter the battle, select your character, select your layout, and basically as you complete one area, between areas it'll give you a bonus. Between areas, it'll give you a bonus, excuse me. Apparently, I really have to go. Where it gives you either HP, critical, some bonuses like that. So basically, this is a mode where when you complete one wave, or an area as it's called in this game, you get the reward for that. Then it gives you a HP heal, a stat bonus of some kind, and then you move on to the next one, so on and so forth until you've completed all 5. The primary objective of this, though, is to get these Jujutsu crystals, which are useful for leveling up your character skills. So that's what you're going to want to do. So leveling up skills winds up being extremely strong, so you want to make sure that you're completing those. You get 3 tries per day, I think. Actually, I think only 1 recovers per day is what it said. I'm not sure, but I think only 1 recovers per day. So event, this is a fun one because there are quests and also boss fights. So the quests have normal and hard difficulty. You're going to complete these. You'll get some drop items, sure. But the main thing you're doing here is you're completing those, and you're getting these tickets. And then there's a little gacha here that corresponds with the event. And so you're going to keep on pulling on this until you get the rewards that you're looking for. But the primary thing you're going to want to get is the SSR recollection bit there. So you keep going until you get that. And then when you're done, you can reset the pool. But ultimately, that's how this all looks. I have to apparently turn on Do Not Disturb for this game. My goodness. Whoops, wrong button. Because my God, everyone and everything, as soon as I got on, my goodness, man. Making it hard to keep track of what I'm saying. All right, so I don't have anything else there. But you get more of those basically by completing event missions here. Pretty easy. Clear any event quest 20 times on a daily basis. Reset the prize pool, get your rewards. You'll also get gacha tickets, so make sure you're completing the event. There's another gacha ticket down there. I claimed a few previously. So this is very big. There's also bosses here that you can play. The bosses will keep the same HP until they're defeated. They drop these as well. So yeah, nice. So basically, it's almost like a raid boss, if you will, where the enemy boss's HP does go down until you go back in, and then you can finish them off from there. All right, so Gacha. I kind of talked about this briefly, but this is very straightforward. This is the Gacha system. You don't need an explainer for what a Gacha system is in a Gacha game. So yeah, I'm not gonna bother with that one. So here's rank. So this is a fun one. So this is a system where it kind of character missions here. A lot of games have a system like this, but they do it differently, a little bit differently anyway than this game does. But the general sentiment here is that you have the ability to increase the power of your characters, unlock new voices, or I guess profile. No, nothing will profile, but I know for a fact you get new voices as you level up. Universal stuff, exclusive stuff. So it's an interaction-based system. The way you complete this, I believe, is by sending out characters on dispatch or by literally completing the missions that they have listed here. So, like, I got that. And the cool thing with this is you get stat bonuses as you rank up. You're going to see that here right now with Gojo. So currently he's getting all that HP, curse tech, and physical tech as well. So keep that in mind too. You want to make sure you're completing these for all of your characters. And there is an overall level too for your that's tied to your own actual account rank. And they will also, as you rank up, we'll be getting bonuses from that too, for the record. I can show you that. So I have all these active bonuses being applied, increased drop, universal bonus. Any character that fits into these criterias is getting these stat bonuses. So that's kind of how things look. So pretty cool system that they have with this. So that is largely everything. I don't know that there's anything we didn't really hit. All this stuff is your typical stuff. You don't need an explainer for that. Yeah, all that stuff's the pretty typical stuff, excuse me. So I want to kind of just briefly recap here. When you first start playing, you're going to want to jump into story, complete as much story as possible. All the while, you're going to complete the novice missions. And on the side, if you're looking for more cubes, you will also add friends to that invitation system that I showed you. And when you are, well, I guess prior to all that stuff, you're going to have to choose if you want to keep the account with the gacha, right? So you're going to want to start off with Gojo primarily. You could choose whoever you want otherwise, but I do recommend regardless having Gojo on your account because he will carry you a lot. And then other than that, you have a bunch of characters that are really good. SR Yaga, SR Nanami, Kugisaki is really good. You have these characters you can use and build a team with them and be pretty set meta-wise for actually a decent bit until Kugisaki is replaced by Yuta, but you're still using the other three characters, so like it's a great start basically is the point. And then after that, you're going to unlock the ability to enhance characters through multiple means, whether that is by completing the dispatch that you guys saw. Eventually, you're going to get to domain investigations. You're going to get enhancement quests, just a bunch of different things. And so the name of the game then becomes improving your characters, improving their skills, all that stuff, to then take on harder content, which is where Formidable Foe kind of hits there. Again, you want to complete Chapter 8, which I have not done yet, so keep that in mind. But that is mostly everything in the gameplay loop for this game. All in all, I've got to say I really am enjoying it, and I'm super excited about progressing even further. If you guys are excited about this game and you want to know more about the best possible characters to start off with, I've mentioned them a couple times in the video, but you want to know why, what makes them so good, then the video on the screen right now is for you.